A US Navy ship has fired warning shots at Iranian military vessels. Seems an American defense official says the incident happened in the Strait of Hormuz on Sunday. The USS Mahan destroyer apparently tried to establish contact with what were rapidly approaching Iranian ships that didn't respond. 3 warning shots were fired when they got as close as 800 meters. Let's bring in Kaveh Afrasiabi, talk about what's going on here. He's an Iranian-American political scientist and author. This could get hot, couldn't it? US officials say this happened in international waters. Why do you think the Iranian vessels then didn't respond to communications from the American warship? What was going on?
Well, there are always 2 sides to this story, and we have to wait and see how Iran responds to these allegations and whether or not, in fact, the U.S. ship was in the international waters and so forth. So I would, await judgment on this until further information is received. However, this is not the first time that we see, such things happening in the volatile Strait of Hormuz. And, there's a very small part of it that is international waterway, and most of the ships going in go through the Iranian territorial waters.
Could you tell our viewers why this place is important, why the Strait of Hormuz is important?
Well, so much of the world's oil exports go through that, and the Iranians, because of hostility with the United States and so forth in the past, have threatened to shut it down. And there's tremendous geopolitical and strategic importance attached to the Strait of Hormuz that is bound to continue in the decades to come.
Well, I was going to say,
and this is also a potential flashpoint between an assertive regional power and intrusive Western superpower that considers Persian Gulf basically as its own private lake sometimes.
Yeah, well, why is it going to go under Donald Trump? He becomes US president in just 11 days now. He's shown pretty tough views on relations with Iran thus far. Where do you think it's going to go within the next, bearing in mind how hot potentially this is around that whole area, where's it going to go over the next 6 months, do you think?
Well, I don't really think that there's going to be much of anything happening with, Trump going through the transition to install himself. And, he has sent mixed signals with respect to Iran. On Persian Gulf, he has threatened to beat back the Revolutionary Guards and their vessels. On the other hand, he has hinted at cooperation with Iran and Russia and Syria vis-a-vis the menace of ISIS and terrorism in general. And we'll see which side of the aisle the chips will fall.
Trump was no fan of that big Iran nuclear deal, was he? He was no fan of that nuclear deal. It was broken under Obama.
He has basically 3 positions on the nuclear deal. He has 3 basic positions: one to scrap it, the other to revise, and to also maintain and enforce the contract. And my hunch is that he will enforce the deal and try to renegotiate it, but this will drag on to his 2nd or 3rd year and so forth. Nothing immediate.
Kaveh, thanks for your time. Kaveh Afrasiabi, political scientist and author.